Must watch. 7 secrets every man must never tell women. She'll never see the same. Psychology tips. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Confucius. Gentlemen, hear this with a clear mind. If you grasp what follows, the way women experience you will change for good. Too many men mistake oversharing for intimacy, dumping private doubts, old mistakes, and moment-to-moment emotions as a shortcut to closeness. Psychology tip, that's boundary collapse, and it flattens mystery, respect, and desire. She won't spell it out, but once certain things are exposed, you stop feeling like the man she can lean on. My aim is simple, to hand you 7 non-negotiables you keep to yourself so you protect your value, your steadiness, and the spark that draws her in. Men who ignore this end up stunned when interest fades, distance grows, and admiration turns neutral. Don't be that man. Lean forward, take notes, and treat this as more than relationship talk. It's operational discipline. In a world eager to blunt your edges, your advantage is composure, standards, and selective disclosure. Master that, and you keep your edge and her interest. 1. Your past with women. This is one of the most dangerous traps men fall into, and it's a secret you must never fully disclose if you want to maintain respect, attraction, and power in a relationship. Women are naturally curious, and sooner or later, she'll lean in with that playful tone and ask, "So, how many women have you been with?" Or, "Tell me about your past relationships." Make no mistake, this is not an innocent question, it's a test. And here's where countless men destroy themselves, because they think honesty will win them points, when in reality, it does the opposite. If you tell her a high number, she may laugh in the moment, but in her mind, she's filing you under player, unreliable, man who cannot be trusted long term. If you give her a low number, she might smile politely, but deep down she's questioning your experience, your ability to attract women, your desirability. Either way, the truth becomes a weapon turned against you. That is why, as Epictetus taught, control what you can, accept what you cannot. You cannot control her judgment of your past, but you can control what you reveal. Smart men understand that silence and mystery are far more powerful than unguarded honesty. This isn't about lying, it's about protecting your frame. Your past women are irrelevant. Your presence today is what matters. Think of Julius Caesar. Do you imagine him sitting with Cleopatra, listing every affair, every conquest? Of course not. Power never explains itself. Power lets presence speak. The moment you answer her question directly, you lose leverage because the frame has shifted from who you are now to what you were then, and attraction lives in the present. This is where psychology tips matter. Women ask about your past not because they need data, but because they want to test your strength. Will you fold under pressure and overshare, or will you keep your composure? The right response is not a number, but a statement that protects your mystery while projecting confidence. Say something like, "Enough to know what I want," and "Wise enough to know what I won't settle for." That answer reveals nothing, yet it gives her everything: certainty, intrigue, and the sense that you are a man in control. That is love advice at its core. Never hand over information that lowers your value. Instead, create attraction by letting her feel the strength of your boundaries. Remember, if honesty does not serve the relationship, it's not honesty, it's self-sabotage. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to act according to virtue, not for the approval of others, and that wisdom applies here. Don't chase approval by spilling your past. Be virtuous, be consistent, and let your actions today define the man she sees. Women respect discipline. They are drawn to men who can keep calm under pressure, who understand that attraction thrives on a balance of openness and mystery. Too much openness kills curiosity. Mystery fuels desire. That is one of the oldest dating tips that men forget, and it costs them dearly. When she asks with that tricky smile, "How many girls have you been with?" the worst thing you can do is think answering will bring you closer. It won't. It will only poison the way she sees you. Your discipline in holding back is what earns her respect. Your silence creates space for attraction. Your refusal to explain keeps her chasing. Don't be the man who overshares and then wonders why she pulled away. Be the man who knows his past is irrelevant, who protects his value, who lets his presence today do the talking. Attraction is not built by turning yourself into an open book. It is built by showing strength in what you choose to withhold. And that is the secret every high value man must understand. Her respect depends less on what you tell her and more on what you refuse to give away. Silence, mystery, composure. That is what keeps her seeing you not just as another man, but as the man worth desiring. 2. Insecurities. I know modern advice often encourages men to open up, to bear it all, to let vulnerability be the bridge to closeness. But here's the harsh truth: when you expose your weaknesses too freely, you don't build attraction, you quietly destroy it. In the world of love psychology, women crave safety and strength, not a man who hands her the burden of carrying his doubts. Don't mistake temporary comfort for lasting respect. Think about Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor of Rome. He wrote down his private doubts and fears in meditations, but he never broadcasted them to the Senate, to his soldiers, or to the woman beside him. Why? Because those writings weren't confessions for others to carry. They were tools to sharpen his mind, weapons to strengthen his soul. He understood something men today too often forget. You master yourself in silence before you speak with power. That is the discipline of a man who can attract women not by pity, but by strength. Now picture this. You're with a woman you love, and in a moment of weakness you say, "I'm scared of losing everything," or "I don't feel like I'm good enough." She may comfort you with soft words, but in the back of her mind, you've planted a seed. Later, when the storms of life hit, she'll remember those words, not the man of courage standing before her, but the cracks he revealed. And in that moment, instead of seeing a rock, she will wonder if she can truly lean on you. Love psychology is clear on this point. Attraction is built on trust, and trust demands that she sees you as strong when life gets heavy. Think of Leonidas, the Spartan king who led 300 men against the Persian Empire. Imagine if, before the Battle of Thermopylae, he had stood before his warriors and whispered, "I'm terrified. I don't think we can win." Would they have followed him? Would history still speak of their courage? Of course not. Strength isn't the absence of fear. It's the art of carrying fear silently, with discipline, and showing only the courage that inspires others to follow. That is leadership. That is what creates respect. And that, above all, is what makes women see you as a man worth admiring. This doesn't mean you must bottle everything up or pretend you're made of stone. No, you must have outlets, but they're sacred and chosen. A journal, a trusted brother, a mentor, even a therapist if necessary. But never, ever make your woman the confessional for your darkest doubts. She doesn't want to carry that weight. She wants to feel safe with you. She wants to know that no matter the storm, you are her anchor, the steady force that gives her confidence. That's not just love advice. It's one of the most important relationship goals any man can live by. Seneca once said, "Man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them." The way you frame your struggles is everything. If you show her you're facing challenges with determination, you inspire her to believe in you. But if you present your insecurities as defining truths, you chip away at her respect. A man who constantly seeks reassurance is not a man she can truly admire. So, the next time you're tempted to open your mouth and confess every weakness, stop. Breathe. Ask yourself, do I want temporary relief or do I want her lasting respect? Because one careless confession can change how she sees you forever. And once her view of you shifts, it's nearly impossible to shift it back. Remember this: strength doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being in command of your emotions. Women admire men who can feel deeply yet remain grounded, men who can walk into chaos without crumbling. That is the kind of man who inspires trust, the kind of man who can attract women without begging for validation, the kind of man who knows his insecurities are his own battle, not hers to fight. So guard your heart wisely. Be a man of depth, but also a man of discipline. Because when you keep your insecurities under control, you don't just protect your dignity, you protect the foundation of your relationship goals. And that, my friend, is how you remain the man she respects, admires, and desires. 3. Money. I want you to hear this clearly because it has destroyed more men than any other weakness. Women are biologically wired to test provision, security, and lifestyle. It is not malicious, it is nature. But the moment you reveal the exact amount you earn, you hand over control of how she values you. If you tell her you make little, she may unconsciously see you as limited, a man without ambition, even if you are building something powerful. If you tell her you make a lot, her expectations may explode, and suddenly your worth is measured only in dollars. Either way, you lose. You put yourself in a box you can never escape. Seneca, the old Stoic, once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." That is timeless wisdom. True strength lies not in the number on your paycheck, but in the discipline of how you manage it. Modern Stoic thinkers would echo the same: control your desires, not your bank balance. Think about this. Did John D. Rockefeller or Elon Musk ever sit across from a woman and disclose every cent in their account? Never. They let vision, mission, and direction speak louder than digits. That is the mark of a man. A woman does not truly want the math. She wants to feel your ambition, your clarity, and your command over life. The modern Stoic man understands that money is not identity. It is leverage, a tool, a resource to shape destiny. When you give her the numbers, you rob yourself of mystery and leverage, and once that is gone, you cannot take it back. Imagine a king declaring to the world how much gold sits in his treasury, how long before thieves and enemies begin plotting. The same principle applies to you. Protect your crown. Protect your kingdom. Marcus Aurelius, another old Stoic, warned against flaunting possessions, reminding himself that greatness comes from inner mastery, not outer wealth. Learn from that. When she asks, "So, how much do you make?" do not fall into the trap of confession. Redirect with vision. Say, "Enough to handle what matters," and focused on building more. That response shows power. It shows direction. It shows you are a man who leads his life with purpose, not one begging to be judged by digits. In today's world, men fall because they confuse money with value, numbers with worth. Don't. Your worth is your vision, your discipline, your ability to remain calm under pressure. That is what makes her respect you. That is what keeps her desire alive. Repeat this truth until it sinks in. Money is a tool, not your identity. Control it, guard it, wield it, but never let it define you. That is Stoicism applied to modern life. The modern Stoic man wins because he never reveals his hand. He keeps mystery alive, and with mystery comes power. Let your ambition be seen, let your discipline be felt, but keep the figures locked away like a crown jewel. In relationships, as in empires, the man who reveals too much is the man who is conquered. Be the one who conquers. Be the man she respects because he lives by vision, not by numbers. And never forget, you must protect your wealth as you protect your soul, because once given away, neither can be taken back. If this opened your eyes, give it a like, share it with a man who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more powerful psychology tips and love advice. Comment below to lock this into your mind. I am a man of vision, discipline, and control. 4. Fear. Fear is a shadow every man carries, but the moment you hand that shadow to a woman, she will never see you the same again. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing status, fear of being alone. These are real, but they are yours to master, not hers to shoulder. When you confess them, thinking it builds intimacy, what actually happens is subtle but permanent. She begins to question if she can lean on you when life tests both of you. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who faced plagues and wars, admitted fear only to his private writings. He turned fear into discipline, reminding himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. That is strength. That is leadership. He never allowed others to see weakness, because a leader's image must be untouchable. Now picture yourself telling a woman you're terrified of losing your job, your income, your ability to provide. She may comfort you in the moment, but deep inside, a seed is planted. Her faith in your strength begins to waver, and attraction fades under the weight of doubt. The truth is, Women are wired by love psychology to look for safety in men. They don't want to carry your fear. They want to be carried through fear by you. This is one of the most overlooked psychology tips men ignore, yet it is the difference between admiration and quiet disappointment. The Spartans were not admired because they lacked fear, they were admired because they refused to speak it. They understood that voicing fear magnifies it, while mastering fear kills it. Dating tips will tell you to be vulnerable, but here is the deeper truth. Vulnerability must be carefully chosen. Sharing your dreams, your passions, your scars, those build intimacy. But sharing raw, present fears destroys it. Seneca, the great Stoic, put it best: we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. If you pour your fears into her heart, you make her imagination suffer with you, and that is the fastest way to lose her trust. Instead, you must transmute fear into silence, into discipline, into action. Write your fear down, face it alone, master it privately. Let your woman see only your courage, your presence, your steadiness. Don't dump your panic into her lap and expect her to respect you for it. Don't hand over the keys to her imagination, because once she pictures you as weak, she cannot unsee it. Be the man who stands tall in storms, the man who transforms anxiety into power. That is how you attract women, how you keep love alive, how you create relationship goals that last. Your silence in fear is not cowardice, it is wisdom, it is control, it is the proof that you are unshakable. So when fear grips you next time, remember this: she doesn't need to hear about it. She needs to see you rise above it. In her eyes, your ability to master yourself is the only thing that keeps her desire alive, and your courage in silence speaks louder than any words you could ever say. 5. Betrayals. One of the most dangerous secrets you must never reveal to a woman is how badly other women betrayed you. Men often believe that honesty about past heartbreaks will make her sympathize, but in reality, it rarely works that way. The moment you say, "My ex cheated on me," or "women have used me before," she will quietly file that away in her mind. And here's the hard truth: instead of pity transforming into loyalty, it often breeds doubt. In love psychology, the mind naturally asks, if other women didn't value him, why should I? That single thought can poison attraction. You may think you are being honest, but what you are really showing is the scar of being chosen last, and scars, when displayed too openly, shift the way she perceives your worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you speak of betrayal, you are not overcoming it, you are reliving it. You drag the ghost of the past into your present, and you make the wound part of your identity. That is not strength. That is weakness disguised as confession. A man with power never parades his pain as proof of honesty. He carries his lessons silently and wears his scars as armor, not as wounds he still bleeds from. And in the eyes of women, that distinction is everything. Think about Alexander the Great. He faced betrayal not once, but many times. Friends deserted him. Generals plotted against him. Yet, did he ever stand before his men crying about how he was deceived? No. He stood taller. He learned from it. He marched forward as if no wound could stop him. That is what made him unstoppable. And that, my friend, is what makes a man irresistible. To attract women and maintain strong relationship goals, you cannot look like a victim who still trembles at the memory of being wronged. You must look like the warrior who has conquered his past and buried it for good. When you tell a woman about betrayal, you think she'll admire your honesty. In truth, she sees one of two things: either a man still bleeding from old wounds or a man inviting her to compete with his ghosts. And no woman wants to feel she is competing with shadows. She wants to feel that she is standing beside a man who has conquered them and left them buried. A man who knows pain but refuses to let it define him. That is what creates safety, admiration, and attraction. Seneca once said, "We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end of them." The same applies to heartbreak. Life is short. Why waste your limited days retelling stories of betrayal? Every time you retell the story, you give it new life, and you rob yourself of the chance to move forward. Betrayal is not a badge to wear. It is a lesson to internalize. And once learned, it should be put to rest. A strong man adapts. He speaks of lessons, not wounds. He shows growth, not scars. So, next time you feel tempted to pour out your heart about how badly you were wronged, stop. Breathe. Remember, she does not need your pain. She needs your presence. She is not looking for another tragedy to manage. She is searching for a man who has already mastered his story. That is the foundation of true relationship goals, to lead not with wounds, but with wisdom. A man respected by women is not the man who cries about his betrayals, but the man who has risen above them without needing to say a word. Strength is silent. Confidence is calm. Lessons are carried, not spoken. When you embrace that mindset, you unlock the deepest secret of attraction. Women are drawn not to the man who survived betrayal, but to the man who transcended it. That is the man who attracts women, commands respect, and builds unshakable love psychology into every connection he creates. And if you truly understand this, drop a comment right now. I rise above betrayal. Like this video, subscribe for more psychology tips, and remind yourself daily, your scars don't define you, your strength does. 6. Doubt. The secret every man must guard is never confessing self-doubt to a woman. Doubt is human. Yes, it creeps into every man's mind late at night or in the middle of his battles. We all question ourselves. Am I enough? Am I making the right move? Do I truly have what it takes? But the moment you hand that doubt to her in words, you place a fracture in the way she sees you, a small crack that over time becomes a fault line. A woman may smile, nod, and comfort you, but deep within her, the image of you as her rock begins to shift. Remember what Marcus Aurelius, the great old Stoic, wrote: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He knew doubt is not something to speak into existence, but something to wrestle with silently, turning it into fuel for action. The modern Stoic understands the same. Life is not about broadcasting weakness. It's about transforming that weakness into strength. Picture a general standing before his soldiers on the eve of battle. Imagine if he whispered, "I'm not sure we can win." The men's hands would tremble, their courage would falter, and hesitation would creep in like poison. Hesitation kills. In the same way, when you turn to a woman and confess, "I doubt myself," you plant hesitation in her heart. She doesn't want hesitation, she wants conviction. She doesn't want uncertainty, she wants direction. That is why you must learn to master your doubts in silence. Seneca, another giant of Stoicism, declared, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Think about that. Doubt grows when you speak it aloud. It multiplies when you hand it to others. But it shrinks when you confront it, when you dare to act anyway. Women want a man they can believe in, not a man who needs saving. They long for a leader, not a patient. They admire the man who fights his internal wars and still walks forward with steady steps. That doesn't mean you never feel doubt, every man does. It means you handle it like the old Stoic warriors did, in private, with discipline, with resolve. You turn doubt into determination, not conversation. You sharpen it into a blade you carry within, not a burden you dump on her shoulders. As Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That is Stoicism in action. In modern life, the principle is the same. Think about the CEO leading a company through a crisis. Do you think he stands up in front of his board and confesses, "I have no idea what I'm doing"? No. He admits his uncertainty in private, then makes the best decision possible with the information he has. Or the father guiding his children. Does he collapse in front of them, spilling every fear? No. He may feel fear, but he shows courage because courage builds trust. That is the modern Stoic way. Your woman doesn't expect you to be perfect, but she expects you to be steady. She doesn't want every detail of your worry. She wants to feel your resolve. So let me ask you, when she looks into your eyes, what does she see? A man unsure of himself, shifting, second-guessing, seeking validation? Or a man who walks forward despite uncertainty, who confronts his doubt in silence and replaces it with resolve? Don't hand her your uncertainty. Hand her your confidence. Don't show her your hesitation. Show her your movement. Don't let her carry your doubts. Let her feel your determination. That is the path of a man. That is the way of Stoicism. Victory in life is not the absence of doubt, it is the mastery of it. You must master your emotions, your fears, your hesitations. You must become the man who rises each morning ready to fight, ready to lead, ready to inspire. Remember this truth: a man who keeps his doubt in private becomes stronger. A man who spills it out weakens the bond. Choose strength. Choose silence. Choose resolve. That is how you live like the old Stoic philosophers. That is how you embody the modern Stoic. And that is how you ensure she will always see you as her rock, her warrior, her king. 7. Weakness. Weakness is one of the most dangerous secrets you can ever expose to a woman, because the moment you reveal where you are weakest, you risk planting in her mind an image of a man who cannot control himself. It could be your struggles with discipline, your battles with addictions, or your inability to master certain habits. When you tell a woman, "I can't control myself when it comes to this," or "I always fail at that," you are no longer seen as the rock she can lean on, but as a man slipping into quicksand. Attraction fades when helplessness appears, because women instinctively respect the man who stands firm, not the one who collapses under the weight of his flaws. This is not about being fake or hiding your humanity. It is about understanding attraction and how the human mind works. These are not just love advice. These are powerful psychology tips that men must understand if they want to lead with respect. Think of the wisdom of the ancients. Epictetus declared, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That one line holds a truth men today keep forgetting. Freedom is not about money, cars, or status. It is about conquering yourself, your impulses, your emotions, and your demons. When you confess weakness without showing mastery, you trade respect for sympathy, and sympathy is poison in attraction. She may hug you. She may tell you it's okay. But in her heart, something shifts. Respect silently drains away. And once respect is gone, desire soon follows. These are dating tips that matter more than anything else. Don't confess weakness while it's still an open wound. Heal it, master it, and only then share it as a victory story. History is full of men who carried their weaknesses in silence until they turned them into strength. Winston Churchill fought crushing depression, which he called his black dog. But did he stand before his nation and announce his despair? No. He carried the weight privately, led with strength publicly, and inspired millions in their darkest hour. Marcus Aurelius, facing endless wars and personal losses, reminded himself daily, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." He didn't spill his weaknesses as complaints. He showed strength in action. That is the model. A man who keeps walking forward, carrying the burden quietly, while letting his presence radiate discipline and leadership. So ask yourself, when you show a woman your weak spot, do you believe she will admire you more? Or do you sense she will silently wonder how long it will take before that weakness devours you? Attraction isn't about perfection, it's about direction. She doesn't need a flawless man. She needs a man moving forward, conquering himself and growing stronger day by day. If you admit defeat, she will doubt your ability to protect, lead, and inspire. But if you show progress, discipline, and control, she will see you as the warrior who can handle storms without falling apart. That is love psychology at its purest form. Women follow strength, not excuses. Don't confuse this with dishonesty. This is not about lying. This is about timing. You don't reveal your battles while you're still losing them. You reveal them once they're scars, marks of victory, not signs of failure. A man must turn weakness into discipline before he ever speaks of it. That's why you must guard your confessions. Keep your mouth shut about the chains you haven't broken yet. Don't show her your bleeding wounds. Show her the scars that prove you've already fought and survived. Psychology tips, love advice, dating tips, they all echo the same truth. Women want to feel secure in your strength. They don't want to mother your weakness. They don't want to patch up your wounds while doubting if you can handle life's battles. They want to look at you and know, this man has faced storms and he is still standing. That is what inspires trust, loyalty, and deep respect. So master yourself first. Build discipline like armor. Fight your demons in private. And when you finally conquer them, Then you may share your story, not as weakness, but as triumph. Don't tell her where you stumble. Show her where you stand. Don't reveal your chains. Show her your scars. Don't speak of defeat. Radiate strength. Attraction dies when a man leaks weakness, but it thrives when he shows resilience. So let your silence be your training ground, and let your victories speak for themselves. That is the difference between a man who loses respect and a man who is admired forever. And that's it, my friends. Now you know, some secrets are better kept within you, not because you're hiding, but because you're protecting your strength, your mystery, and your power as a man. My advice is simple. Don't hand over your doubts and weaknesses like gifts, because they're not gifts, they're burdens, and she'll never carry them the way you do. Be her rock, not her project. Be the man who stands firm in silence, who leads with presence, and who earns respect through action, not confession. Always remember, silence is power, mystery is magnetic, and self-mastery is what makes you unforgettable. Stay sharp, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.